What's up everybody, it is Amrinder Singh and today I'm going to explain new Sidhu Moosewala song called Barota. I think he launched or released this song 3 weeks ago. So I'm gonna explain these songs to you and you would learn a lot of good colloquial vocabulary through this song, alright? And the first, I didn't know the meaning of the Barota, but I searched it on YouTube and few people are talking about it means a tree, but there's also still controversy. Some people are talking about Barota means a pepper tree, all right? Some people are talking about Barota means a board tree, all right? So basically these two are very big trees, all right? And pepper tree is also big, board is also big. They are little similar to each other, all right? You can search on these names on internet, all right? I think pepper tree probably called like a people tree in English. And I think board tree is called like a banyan tree or something like that, Banyan, something like that. Maybe you can search it on. Or if you watched the song video, you can see there in the video there's a tree and on the tree there's guns hanging, so probably he's just talking about that tree. And I also didn't pay attention much which tree it was. So yeah, Barota basically means a strong tree, all right? So but yeah, I think I didn't listen this song before. Yeah, I heard lines, like I didn't listen completely the full song, I just listened it before like explaining it. But yeah, there's some lines like I don't understand, I think, but mostly I understand. 90% of the song I understand, all right? So it doesn't mean like I don't understand the meaning, just I understand everything about the meaning. But there will be some specific lines and sometimes I don't know what does it mean. So when I said I understand everything, I mean the context, all right? Probably not specific line. Maybe there would be some word I don't understand, but in the context I understand, all right? So even don't worry about it if you're listening a song and you don't understand. Maybe you understand 50%, all right? It depends on your level and you think I'm not that good. Probably you would be really good if you understand 50% song, because even I'm native speaker, you know, I don't understand 100%. So don't worry about it. So it's not a big deal, all right? But yeah, it gives you good vocabulary to build, like colloquial vocabulary, if you listen song explanation. And that's what I'm gonna explain because it could build your vocabulary, what he's talking about in this song, all right? So now let's get started and just move to the song. So he said, LC de varga si jussa jatt da, all right? I don't know what the LC means. Jussa basically a structure of your body, all right? Jat means you jat, all right? So basically from this context, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the guy was strong, all right? He built like, built like a rock, all right? LC doesn't mean rock. I think probably it means a gun or something. So yeah, probably it doesn't mean a gun or anything, but it means definitely something strong, I think, when he's referring to LC. So definitely the meaning is like a guy was built strong like a rock, all right? One sec, let me play it back. The next line he say Rang Jama Taji Savraj Varga. Alright, Rang means a color, Taja means fresh, alright, Taja means fresh, and Savraj means basically Savraj a tractor name, alright. So he was talking about like his color was like a Savraj tractor, the fresh or new Savraj tractor, alright, and Savraj tractor color is red. So basically he was talking about, if we talk about the beginning, like he built like a rock, he was so strong, and his color is a kind of light skin, little red. You know, when light skin people go to the sun, they become little red. That's what he's talking about, all right? He's talking about the guy who's light skin and strong, all right? So then he said, Kabutriyan tere jaiyan bahut piche si. So kabutar or kabutri means a pigeon, all right? Male pigeon is kabutar and female pigeon is kabutri. But he's not talking about bird here. He's talking about girls. So he's mentioning, when he say kabutri, it means he's mentioning to a girl, all right? He's telling to a girl, like, the girls like you was after me, all right? That's what he's saying. So then he say, Munda Sarpanchan da si Baj Varga. So it means the son of Sarpanch. He was like a hawk, all right? Hawk or eagle, you can say. So yeah, the guy was like that, all right? So basically he's compare a girl like a pigeon, all right? And like a pigeon, beautiful girls are after me like you. And then he's referring to him like, I am the son of Sarpanch, and like a hawk, or the strong, like a bird who hunt, all right? And Sarpanch means basically head of village. Is elected by people by voting system, all right? And that's what he's talking about in the song. So then he said, Chadi si Javani patrol vargi, all right? Javani means a youth, all right? Chadna means basically when it comes out, all right? Chadna could have many meaning, when you go up or something like that. He said, Chadi si Javani patrol vargi. Patrol means petrol. So basically he's talking about his youth was so energetic, all right? His youth was so energetic. Like petrol means here, the way he's using it, means it was so energetic, because petrol, if you fire the petrol, all right, you burn the petrol, it's gonna be explode. This is how his youth was. So then he say, Lishkda siga tere gote nalda. Alright, lishkana means when shining. Chamkana or lishkana, same thing. Sometimes people use chamkana or lishkana. So it means something shining. Shining means lishkana or chamkana. And he said tere gote nalda. So gota basically means, if you see the woman, Punjabi woman wear traditional clothes, when they have a chunni on their head, the piece of cloth on their head, that's called chunni. Maybe you call it scarf. On the edge of that chunni, so sometimes it's like a shiny cloth, a shiny tape made of clothes is there. So that's called gota. So he was talking about himself, all right? He was saying, my youth was like, so energetic, like a petrol, and I was shining like gota, the way it's shining on your chunni, all right? That's what he's talking about. So then he said, Tere husan di challi neri pure vargi, all right? Husan means a beauty, all right? Neri means a hurricane or storm, all right? Mostly like a hurricane. And pure vargi. So pura basically in Punjabi, if it's a wind coming from the east, we call it pura. Why we call it pura? Because east mean in Punjabi is purv. Purv means east. So that's why if wind is come, that's like a pura. We call it pura, all right? So he's talking about in this lines, like your beauty was like a hurricane from east, all right? Mostly the wind blow from east in summertime. It also brings sometimes, thunderstorm, stuff like that. That's what he's talking about. Like your beauty is like, a thunderstorm or like a hurricane storm from east. That's what he's saying. Then he says, Jat jadon patata barote nala. Jadon means from its roots, all right? Jat means a jat, like a guy, you can call, he is mentioning himself here as a jat. And Barota, we already talked about, it's like a tree, the strong tree. So he is talking about, even I was a strong big tree, a strong tree, but like your storm, the storm of the beauty is just making me fall, all right? So like if it's a big storm, so sometimes the tree fall. By the way, those trees don't fall because they are so strong. But it was that strong, your beauty was that strong, even I was, that big, strong, stable guy, but you made me fall. That's what he's talking about. So basically, he's repeating his lines. I think it's the hook of the song. So then he said takya aisa brown akh teri ne. So it means takna basically means when you saw something, all right, when you see or look something. So in mostly in Punjabi we say dekhna or vekhna, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਿਆ, like ਮੈਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਿਆ, all right. So it means when you watch something, but takna is also mean, all right, it means also seen or looking. That's so annoying when they're speaking in loudspeaker outside, because it's all their voice is also coming into my podcast when I'm recording. But anyway, so yeah, so takna basically also mean looking. Mostly in common we use dekhna or vekhna, but like mostly takna is being used in poetry or songs like that, all right. So he said takya aisa akh brown teri ne, something like that, all right. So it means the way you looked at me with your brown eyes, right? So that's what he's talking about in this line. Then he said rata vi ni shadya jawane varga. Rata means little bit, all right. Shadya jawane varga. So jawana means the period or time, all right, the current environment. So I don't know exactly what he's trying to say here, but I can guess in my own understanding. I think he's talking about the way you looked at me, you just killed me, you know, you just killed me, like, all right, that's what he's talking about. So yeah. So he said ba ole si jede dandal lukdi. Dandal basically something is to or pair, all right. He's talking about his gun, all right. So it means when he put his gun on his shoulder, but it's getting hide under his arm, you know, because his arm is big, he was a strong guy. That's what he's talking about. He's referring to, I'm that guy, if he put a gun on my shoulder, it's gonna be hide, all right. I'm that strong big guy. Then he said dab asle de kar khane varga. So dab basically means your hustler, what you call a hustler, where basically you on your waist you basically, you know, hang your or put your like a pistol or something like that. So he was explaining to himself, like he was that strong big, even, you know, the gun on his shoulder is just hide under his arm, and his, you know, waist area, it looks like the factory of, you know, the guns and the pistols. That's what he's talking about. Then he said pull gaya biba pantali chakna. So biba is referring to a girl, pull means forgot, pantali basically is a, I think, 55 caliber revolver he's talking about. He said I forgot to pick up my, you know, like a revolver. Then he said mo jeda karda si shote naal da. Mo means a love, all right. So pyar and mo almost same thing. Shote nala. Shota means like a little brother, all right. Shota means a little. So he was talking about because of you, all right, I was that kind of guy who put the gun on my shoulder. I have pistol under, like, you know, my on my waist, but I forgot to pick up my, you know, the 45 caliber, which I love like my little brother, all right. Because I was that kind of guy, that kind of gangster guy. But when I fall in love with you, I forgot these kind of things. That's what he's talking about. Again, it's his hook lines. He's repeating it again. We already talked about. He's referring to a girl like the storm of the beauty. It came from the east and just make me fall. All right, that's what he's talking about in his hook lines. What he said? Ki dil di si parwah kar di. I need to listen again. Yeah, I think he was talking about ki one si dil di parwah karni. All right, jene tange khopad talwara utte ni. I think he is telling here like how he would care about anybody's heart. All right, when he is the guy basically who, you know, pick up the skulls of the people on the shores. All right. So if I explain little word by word, all right, dil means the heart, all right, parwah karna means care, all right. So it means the first line here is ki one si dil di parwah karni. So it means like how he would do care about heart, all right. Then he said jene tange khopad talwara. Khopad or khopdi means a skull, all right. Talwar means a sword, all right. The guy who basically, you know, hang the skulls on his sword, he wouldn't care about somebody's feelings, stuff like that. That's what he's talking about, all right. So then he said, ਭੁੱਲ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਡੋਰੀਆ ਜੱਟ ਬੰਨੀ ਫਿਰੇ what he said, ਬੰਨੀ ਫਿਰੇ ਨਾਟ 11 ਉੱਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ. Yeah, ਨਾਟ 11 is also a tractor basically. So he was talking about the doria, basically the woman when they do the big braid at the back of their head, all right. So on here they put some kind of black, is I don't know, almost like a hair. It's not hair, so that's called like a doria. If you search on the doria, probably you find it on, all right. So she forgot the doria to him, and he basically, you know, tied up that doria with his tractor, maybe the steering wheel on the tractor, all right. That's what he's talking about, all right. Banana means tied up, all right. So the doria you forgot, pulana means forgot, the doria you forgot, like in my place I put it on my tractor, all right. That's what he's talking about. So he said, प्यार दियां तंदां नाल नथ पा लिया, all right. So nath basically is called, if you see the animal back in the day, even now, like the ox, they use for farming. So what they do, like they piercing their nose and they put how to say, little rope in that, so it's easy to control. So that's called nath, all right. Tand means basically, tand means a thread, or like a thread, you know. And he is talking about with, you know, the thread of your love, you know, you basically piercing my nose, you know. What does it mean? It means, you know, like your love basically controlled me. Now I'm start changing, you know, I was using a gangster guy, but because of your love, you control me. That's what he's talking about. Not necessarily control, but like, you know, I fall for you, something like that, you know, I listen to you, something like that, probably. Then he said, Moose wala jatt siga chote naal da. So again, I was talking about animal when they piercing their nose. So chota is also a bull basically. Not necessarily bull. I think it's called like a big male buffalo. Yeah. So he was in the Moose wala jatt. Basically, he's referring to himself. So like I was like a big bull or big buffalo, male buffalo, right? Right, but you basically, you know, like piercing my nose with your love, you know, even though I was strong, but now I listen to you, something like that. That's what he's talking about. Again, these are the hook lines I already explained, all right. What he said, Bagiyan de munde sun mithiye. Let me listen again. Yeah, he said, Bagiyan de bande sun mithiye. Let me play it a little whole line. Yeah, I think he said, Bagiyan de bande kade ishਕਾਂ te ਮੁਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਚ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ. All right. Bagi means the militants, all right. Bande means the militant men, all right. So ishq means a love, all right, or probably romance. I think love is, yeah, love. and mushk is basically a bad smell. So I think he just, I don't know, he's talking about a bad smell or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, maybe the musk he used as a lust here. So I think he's talking about, from the context, the militant men, all right, they don't involve in love, all right, they don't involve in lust and love, because why? Because they're militant, they fight, something like that. That's what he's talking about, all right. I think he's referring to himself. I'm the militant guy, and I'm the militant guy, and I don't involve in these kind of stuff. That's what he's explaining, I think, in these lines. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just assuming, all right. Then he said, ਘੁੱਗੀਆਂ ਗਿਟਾਰਾਂ ਭਾਵਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਹਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਕੇਲਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੌਲੇ ਟਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ. Kugi is also bird, guitar is also bird, all right. I don't know the meaning of in English. You can search Punjabi word kugi and guitar. These are the bird, all right. Naal kile, and the kile means a fort. Kaule basically the pillar, all right. If these birds sit on the pillar doesn't fall, all right. That's what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. I think maybe it means like if your girls come after me, or I'm not gonna fall for it. Probably that's what he's trying to say here. So he said, "Mithe bol bol ke chuka liya mithiye." All right, mithe means a sweet. Bol means talk. All right, your words. All right, chukona means bend. All right, so he was talking about, like, I was that kind of strong. I was like, the pillar of fort. I don't fall for, like even the girls sometimes. But your love, your sweet talks, all right, and make me fall. All right, that's what he's talking about. All right, and I don't know what he said after that. Let me play it again. So he said, ਮਿੱਠੇ ਬੋਲ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਚੁਕਾ ਲਿਆ ਮਿੱਠੀਏ ਉੱਚਾ ਕਰਦਾਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਕੋਠੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਾ. Right, so yeah, then he said, like, I was, how to say, pure, strong, like my, how to say, kardar, like my character was pure and strong, like a ucha means height, kotha means it could be a house, all right. Yeah, like it was tall like a house, like my character, but you make me fall, all right, with your sweet talk, all right. That's what he's saying. Again, he was just explaining his hook lines again, all right. So he said, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਫਿਰਦਾ ਸੀ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਭੰਨਦਾ. So hankar means ego, all right. Panna means break. So he's talking about, like, I was breaking people's ego, right. That's what it means in this line. One second, what he said? Then he said, dende. So this is a really good word, dende, right? You don't find these kind of words in the book. So dende, so it's basically means dekhna, all right. Proper way you can say dekh de, like when I was seeing, all right. So some people make a show, they say dende, my dena, my TV dena, all right. I don't say it. In my we don't say, but I see some people say it, all right. It means also watch. So dende khunje lata mithiye. So khunja means a corner, all right. So he's talking about, like, dende, or like when it was happening, you just like put me on the corner, all right. So what he was talking about, like, he was the guy who was breaking the ego of the people, all right. He was strong, arrogant guy, but you make me, push me to the corner, all right. Like when I was doing these kind of things, I don't even notice when you make me fall. That's what it means in all these lines, all right. So again, So if you go to translate it like a word to word, like there's a lot of metaphors I think in that. And because you don't understand, so you're thinking like, oh, she pushed me in the corner, what does it mean? Even if you go translation, no, it didn't mean she pushed her on the corner or something like that. It means he was a strong guy who was breaking people's ego. But your love make me fall, all right? So my ego couldn't stand like in front of you. That's what he is saying, all right? So he says, Sidhu da putt si haveli waliyan da. Sidhu means, it's a family name. We can, in Punjabi, we call it Goth. It's like a family name. Sidhu da putt si, he said, or munda si, I don't know. The munda means, boy, or putt means son, whatever. So he says, Sidhu da putt si haveli waliyan da. Haveli means kind of, big house or maybe mansion, So I was the guy of like a Sidhu family who has like a big mansion, all right? That's what he's talking about. I don't know what he said after that. Let me listen. Then he said, Saad kar kulli ch bathata mithi. So Saad basically, I don't know if you know, Saad basically have few meanings. One is Saad, also some people who become religious. They leave their, like family, they just to find a god or something like that. Saad is also considered to that man like who is very simple, like who starts living simple lives. He didn't care about much relations. He just a simple guy. He didn't show off anything, He's really down to earth guy, all right? And Kulli basically a very small house, all right? Maybe it could be one room house, or it could be, the house made of, just a mud soil or something like that. So he said, like, I was that big guy who live in mansions, but like you made me Saad, or a very simple guy, and just, Barota, like you make me sit in that kulli, in that small house. Now, it doesn't mean that way, but it means he was talking about, I have a big guy from, big family, I have so much ego, but you make me fall in love, like I can't do anything, like I don't have any ego in front of you. That's what he's talking about, all right? So basically all the line he's talking about, he was just explaining how he fall in love with her, that girl, all right? That's what he's talking about. Then he said, koi nede tede nahi si khabbi khan jammya. Nede tede means near, all right? Jammya means born, all right? Khabbi Khan considered a some powerful guy, all right? So if we say, oh, bada Khabbi Khan banda, it means he tried to become a strong, a powerful guy. So he was talking about around my area, there was no strong person like me. So then he said, Ambo Jaswant Ali Potte Nal, something. I think he is talking to his grandmother. So Potta basically a grandson. So he is mentioning him as the grandson of Ambo, something like he mentioned his grandmother's name, all right? So that's how he's comparing, like there was nobody born, the grandson of that Ambo, I forgot the name. So he was comparing himself with any other people around him, like nobody was like him. He was the strongest person around that area, all right? Again, these are his hook lines, all right? What? That's it? I don't know. Let me see. So yeah, that's it. I hope you learned a lot of vocabulary from this song explanation. The way he said dende, or tenu denda ni, alright, means also seeing. So there's a lot of word for like a seeing or looking. Takkana is also one word. Takya, in the past we use it. Takkana, dekhna, vekhna, dende, something like that. So these are all words related to like a seeing or looking. All right, probably you don't know all these words before. So this is how it this is why the song explanation benefit to learn a vocabulary. It's also interesting, and you also learn, because even I know these words like a dende, but it was not going to come to in my mind. But in the song it was right there, and I explained to you. So that's why the song explanation is really good. All right. So anyway, I hope you learn a lot of new vocabulary from this episode, and yeah, and it would definitely improve your vocabulary or everything. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode, and I'll be back with another episode another day.